Hello everyone, welcome to Cove Media. Whether you're here to watch, learn, or just decompress for a little bit, I'm glad you're here. That's why I make these videos. So we're just going to get right into it. So our Pong game's coming along. We have made some improvements, made things look nice, and at this point a lot of what we're doing is quality of life things. Make the game maybe run a little better, look a little bit better, sound a little bit better. We get in the sound in a next lesson. And again, we're just wanting to spruce up the game, make it funner, just make it better for the user. Gonna go ahead, quickly apologize at the beginning of it. At the time of recording, it's the week of the 4th of July. My neighbors are already starting to pop off fireworks. That shouldn't come through, but my puppies, I have two puppies that are very new to fireworks. So I'm sorry if you hear them bark. There's only so much I can do for them, and they're very pitiful. And one keeps coming over and staring at me through the gate in the office. But we'll keep on keeping going. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be adding a countdown timer to the startup. So it'll be at when you launch a game from the tile menu, and then after every score, we're going to give the player a 3-second timer to get ready for the round. So we're going to, again, just get right into it. So we'll come back up here. We will be adding a new constant variable, but I want to go through the code process first, and we'll come back to that. So the first thing we're going to be adding is a couple of, I guess, internal variables towards the top of our main above our actual running loop. Just two of them. We're going to call it one countdown start time. And we're just going to give it a default value of 0. This is for integers. And then the second one we can call show countdown. We're going to set that to false for now. So now the countdown is a semi-game state. It's not going to exist by itself. It's going to exist in our current play game state. And that's what this is for, is if show countdown is false, it'll be skipped. If it's true, it'll be used. We're going to come down to our play. And what's going to happen, we're going to everything that currently exists in this game state will be becoming part of a new if-else statement. So everything will be part of the else, but we're going to get the if taken care of first, and that's going to be our countdown. So if show countdown, which just by calling the variable what it's looking for, if this is true, it'll do everything in this statement. If it is false, it's going to skip it. So we're going to create our first variable, and we're going to call it elapsed. And this is what's actually going to be tracking the time. Get ticks. Countdown start time. And then we have to divide that by 1,000 because the default time is tracked in milliseconds. We want to display seconds. So that's what we got to do. Oh, oops. Go. Saw a little red doobly doop under that. I forgot to put my minus sign. So we have, now we got to display it, so we can't actually display this number because it is a number. We have to display it as a string, so we have to do a little bit of conversion. So string, and we're going to 3, and that's the value we're looking at. We're giving the player 3 seconds to prepare, and we are subtracting our elapsed. And then we're going to be giving within this, if this variable will actually be housing an if-else statement. So if our elapsed time is less than 3, it'll display this value, which gets turned into a string and then shown to the user. Else, it'll display go. Next, we gotta get our text font dot render. And this is how, again, this is how we're going to be throwing it out to the user. Countdown, and we gotta set it to true, and then just give it our text color. Text rec. Dot get rect. We're centering it in the screen, so no extra funny business. We're just taking our width, dividing by 2, and then our height's the same thing. And this is just part of Python. I don't think I've ever explained it. To divide, you have to do 2 division symbols back to back. And screen dot blit. So this is how we're actually throwing it to our screen. And then we have a very small if statement. It's greater than or equal to 3. So if once our elapsed time hits 3 seconds or goes over, show countdown equals false. Oh, not that. False. There we go. And it's very important to actually use greater than, because you do have the possibility, as this is running, if you just had equals 3, this could kick over the 3 value, and so it would just actually keep going that point if it's equal. So with greater than or equal to, it's going to catch it, and we won't have a problem there. So now we have to make an else statement, which in this case is super easy. You have a line, and then you type else, and then we're just going to click from this 4 all the way down to before the pause game state. You're going to click everything, and you're just going to hit tab once. And there we go. We have our if, we have our else. And something else I realized I forgot to do earlier is test the game. Again, always check your code. Always make sure everything's working like it's supposed to. But hopefully everything works. It should. I was messing with it earlier. I do try to double check things before I actually do this. There we go. Okay. Looks to be working. Alright. Just going to let the AI dunk on me real quick. Oh, I'm dumb. So this is working fine, or it should be. We'll find out in a few minutes. But currently it's set to false, so it's never going to show it. We have to add. We have to tell the game to use it, or tell our code, hey, we want to use this. So how we're going to do that is in our scoring, we're going to be adding 2 lines to each of these if statements. The first one is our countdown start time. We actually have to give it a time, and so pygame.time.getTicks, and we're just giving it the current game time, what's currently going on with the system, and show countdown equals true, and we're just doing the same thing here. Get ticks. Show the thing. All right. So it should work this time. Waiting to see. Okay. Again, I'm just going to let myself get dunked on by this AI. And there we go. We have a few seconds to prepare. And I'm going to try and score on the AI to show that it works for them on them as well. There we go. See? So now, regardless of who scores, you the player, or whoever's the player, will have a 3-second window just to prepare themselves. So we're going to quit out. And so there, the code's ready to go. But we're not quite done. So a few things I want to do to spruce this up a little bit. What we've done is a for your countdown, say you wanted to change the timer, say you wanted to give the player 1 second or 5 or 10, you would have to come down, find your countdown, and then come change all these numbers manually. And that takes time, not ideal. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to scroll up top, and we're going to be adding a new, in this case, a constant variable. That's easy to find, that's easy to change. So we're going to come up, and we're going to come to our game constants. Just going to hit enter. We're just going to call this variable our countdown time. And we set that equal to 3. Scroll back down. Oh wait, I'm not far enough. There we are. So we're going to highlight that 3 and we're going to change it to our countdown time. In every case, that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to make sure it worked right. Okay. Just going to let myself get dunked on, and there we go. So now, just going to stop it right there. If we wanted to quickly test a different time, we're going to come up here, change that to 5. Give it a second. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it wants to just take a few seconds. There we go. And there we go, 5 seconds. So you can very quickly and easily check, is it too long? Is it not enough time? So we're just going to stop the game there. I'm going to change it back to 3 seconds. I think that's more than enough. I think that's the proper feel for this game. So, I'm not paying attention. There we go. So this is always what you want to do, is you don't want to have to go through your code finding values. Same thing here. We're using width and height. So this way, if we ever you want to change the resolution of your game, it's already built in. The game will automatically adjust to it. Now, one thing with this, these are made more or less with, I guess, 16:9 ratio, which is your common monitor. This isn't quite, because we're doing a little bit of an older ratio, a 4:3, but you want to keep that in mind with your resolutions, because if you go to a different type of resolution and your stuff's built for like probably 16:9, because that's what everyone uses nowadays, it could throw it off. But and then like now with something like this, you may ask, well, if we're making it easy to change values like this, having places easy, we know where they're easy to change, why wouldn't we do this? Well, this is just a flat out variable. Well, a calculation. So we have time. This is milliseconds. We want to display in seconds, so we're just displaying by 1,000. So if honestly, if we were changing this value, we're probably changing this whole thing anyway, so it's not going to matter. At least in this sense, with something very simple and small of a game we're doing. So otherwise, that's about it for today. One thing I am going to do is I want that countdown to start up when we start the game for a round from the title screen. I want the countdown to be there, so I'm going to shift this to true. Again, easy to come find. Change that to true. Make sure it works. Just hit enter. Ooh, that did not do that to me earlier. Oh, I know why it's doing that. I gotta set it like the other ones. Oh. Time. Get ticks. There we go. So now you have the time. The time. for the start as well. So now we have a timer. Everything's looking good. Coming towards the end of everything. Only have 2 more lessons left. 1 more week. Was thinking about going a little bit longer, make the code even cleaner, but we've been doing Pong for about 7.5, 8 weeks. I'm ready to move on to the next game. So next lesson, we're actually going to be adding sound to our game, make it to spruce things up. You know, it's nice to get a little bit extra in there, a little extra oomph. And again, it's all about having fun, learning to make a game. Nothing extravagant, but I think it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait to see you all again. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Please be safe, and see you next time.